Hi everyone, it's Krista here to do the extended monthly forecast for the sign of Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. This is for the month of September 2018. I hope that you enjoyed your August 2018 general reading. It's hard to believe it's already September. This is a general reading. I'm doing a 6-card spread for you today, and as always, we'll have jumper cards from each of the oracle decks following your 6 cards. I will be using the bottom of the deck card for general energy for the month for you. As it is a general reading, I encourage you to take whatever is most prominent in your life while viewing this and apply the messages to your concern, and I hope that you find it helpful and healing. If you have specific concerns or issues you'd like me to read for, my contact information is in the description box, and you can always get a personal reading with me anytime. All right, so Virgo, what do you need to know for the month of September 2018? This is Virgo, sun, Virgo, moon, and Virgo rising signs need to know for the month of September, Virgo. Virgo, sun, moon, rising. Oh, quick shout out to all Virgos celebrating a birthday this month as well. Happy birthday. Messages for Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Give me a signal. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. All right. And at the bottom of the deck for you, this could very well be you. We do have the Knight of Pentacles here, something that is pretty slow moving energy, but also something that's built to last. This could actually be an individual who is younger or youthful. This could actually be you, Virgo. This is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. If it is an individual, court cards can very well be individuals in your own environment. So we'll look at the other 6 cards in just a moment. So we'll find out if this is you or if this is energy that is available to you. But ultimately, it's going to color the month for you. So you're going to figure prominently. Your energy will figure prominently. And I think whatever you have begun already, I'm going to suggest that you have begun in the world of finance, bodily health, savings, assets, healing, any healing work, investments, work itself, any type of employment, especially where you are working with your hands. This could be someone who is interested in or working with their hands with regard to divination or the natural world. This could be someone who's interested in the botanical sciences, for example, or the healing arts through herbs and that type of thing. So very much healing energy, very, very healing energy that comes from this. And it could, if it is you, Virgo, for example, and you'll recognize that, you'll know because of the descriptors, for example, this is something that you're developing, that you're growing. This is, like I said, it's slow moving energy. It's slow one, but it's also the roots are deep. So this is something that's slow moving, but it's rooted and it's stable. There's a great deal of practical stability in this energy here. So I'm really happy to see that for you. And I don't normally do this, but the Justice card is underneath. Even that one. So something that was out of balance is going to be balanced for you, or you will find a way to balance that, or justice will be served. So here we have your 6 cards. We do have 1 major arcana already. We're dealing with 5, a 7, a 3, and a 2. And of course the strength, the major arcana here is an 8. And so we have 2 8s. You do have a couple of air cards. Air can feel, unless we're dealing with the court cards, the ace or the 6, the rest of the swords can be heavy or challenging. There's a little bit of not disenchantment, sort of trying to figure out which way to go here. A lot of options, feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit of conflict, having the strength to get through something, trusting yourself to get through something here. We do have embarking on a new path for you. Your ships are coming in here. And then having to make a decision. How do you say something? How do you put something across? How do you communicate something? It's almost like you're torn between 2 ideas or 2 ways to go about something or 2 paths to take here. So that's what I'm seeing just as sort of a general snapshot with these cards here together today, just the energy that they contain. So let's look at them in their respective positions. The issue or situation for you for the month of September is the 7 of Cups. And as you know, this is just sort of emotional indecision. It's just sort of not feeling grounded. It's funny because I wouldn't say it's the opposite necessarily to the Knight of Pentacles, but it's sort of, antithetical to it. This is like, I know what I want. I've been working on it for a long time. There's something already underway. It's got deep roots. However, that is Pentacles and this is emotion. So it's almost like your emotions have to catch up with the facts, with the way things are. I would say that there could be an element of daydreaming here. It's not a negative card. It's not like overwhelming or disciplinary or anything like that. It's almost like, because this is the issue or situation, it could just be about, taking the months to find out exactly what makes you happy. Which one of those cups do you want, at least for the time being, so you're not distracted by all the other or pulled in so many different directions and feel like you're being uprooted. Like, I think, pick 1 or 2 out of some of the options that you have here that affect you emotionally. So it could be about a path that you're taking, a decision you've made, who to spend time with, what to spend your time doing, right? I mean, if this is the Knight, once you get up to the King here, you're looking at like the father figure. So, right, which could be a disciplinarian or someone who, father time, for example. So, I mean, and maybe you feel like you're running out of it or something, or that you have to make a decision right away. Like you've already gone this far, you have to make a decision. But I think it's less about where you belong and what you should, quote unquote, be doing, and more about what is emotionally fulfilling. Not like what will make everyone happy or make sense, quote unquote. Just the issue or concern is, which of those cups do you want to grasp? Because each one of those cups holds a different option for you. So that's almost like getting distracted by so many options. That's what the situation is saying. And it's overwhelming for you, right? I mean, the card that represents you this month is the 8 of Swords. This is feeling as though you can't escape something. It's feeling anxious about something. So that's, that's a heavy energy. I want to talk for a moment about what precedes and what follows the 7 of Cups. Energetically, though. So the situation is indecision regarding primarily a matter that touches your emotions or is an emotional matter. Prior to that, energetically, you have sentimentality. Following that, you have having one foot in a situation and 1 foot out. You're not really committed. This is a little different. This is almost like, it's obviously the middle of those, but it's like taking the best of those two worlds, like sentimentality, what makes you happy, and then what are you willing to walk away from or give up in order to focus. So I think this is really talking about, focus, because I do think you need to let yourself free here. You need to set yourself mentally and psychologically free from something that's creating a weight. And the advice card, you can tell it's the same color concept, it's the same element, it's both air. So this doesn't serve you. This isn't a healthy or a kind place to, wind up or find yourself in. So don't give yourself grief about this either. Like, don't make that part of the anxiety. Maybe you feel like you're in a hurry. And if that's the case, maybe just let that go, because whatever is developing here or has been developing is perfectly fine going slow, okay? It's perfectly fine. In fact, everything is just right. So there's nothing to hurry. There's nothing to rush. You might be beating yourself up or being hard on yourself for no reason here. Or from what I'm seeing, no reason. You might find all sorts of reasons, but I'm saying that it's not serving you. It's not helping the situation. It's not helping you choose. It's just providing anxiety. And I think around here with the advice being, make that decision, make that choice, like choose this way or that way. And maybe treat it like there is no wrong answer right now. Might be part of what's going to help set you free mentally or psychologically. So this is an idea, concept, belief system. This is happening internally to you. Something that you're holding on to. You're struggling. This is a struggle. The Eight of Swords is anxiety, feeling like you can't break free of something, you can't make a move, but your hands and your feet aren't bound. If you're keeping yourself confined, it's because of what you're telling yourself. Really pay attention to how you feel here, because I think you can let go of something. You can really drop something here and it's not going to upset anything. In fact, it'll behoove you. It's a good idea to pick one, ideally, 2 maximum. Let's say you can think of 5 or 6 or even 7 choices right here. Pick maximum 2 of them just for the month, right? Just and take that and run with that for the time being to let go of some of that heavy, anxious energy here. But ultimately, you can set yourself free, and it's a decision. You just have to make a decision. That's the advice. So that's what I see here. The recent past is your conflict. This is the 5 of Wands. This is really just a large part of this is competition. Whether you recognize you are doing this, if this is internal to you, that you're in, this personal competition that no one knows about. It's not like there's an award at the end of it. You're just sort of competing in your own mind with someone else. This is your recent past, and so it's sort of chronologically it sits here. So, this conflict or that sense of competition sits before, ultimately, it sits before all these options that you have. So maybe if it's less about a competition and more about what's really in your heart, because look, the strength sits right under the 7 of Cups. So this is where I feel like you may not believe that you have the answer, or that you'll do what's right, or that you'll choose, the right thing this time, that type of thing. But I'm going to suggest that we let go of the idea of competition here. I don't think this is serving you. I'm happy to see this in the past. If it is between you and someone else for a job, a placement, a contract, even a relationship, even a friendship, anything like that here, it's short-lived. It's probably over by now, and this is what you're sitting with. So, but if it is something you're dragging into the month with you and you feel like there's a sense of competition, especially if you don't like it or you don't want it, that could be the decision that you need to make as well. It does sit over the decision card. In terms of, this way or that way. It's not the Lover's card. It's not like this huge mind and heart, this major arcana energy. It's just, do I want to take this way or that way? And it's a thought process, a belief system. So it could just be like conflict or competition around how you think about yourself, what you think about yourself, what you think about the position you're in currently, maybe being just too hard on yourself right now, and it's unfair and it's borderline unkind. So don't give in to that. Don't give in to that energy if you can help it here. Try to find a way to laugh at that or brush it off, because you can set yourself free here at the end of this, at least by the end of the month. Here with strength, we do have this gorgeous, the 8 symbol is always infinity to me. I do think that you have the answer. I do think you know which direction to take, but I want to point out something here as well. There is the 7 of Cups, which is emotions, and then the 2 of Swords, which is ideas, and then this underlying energy being Pentacles. So I think maybe you could be trying to grapple with, or have the strength to grapple with, or trust in yourself enough to move forward in a confident decision between really the heart and the mind. Because I see the strength under the heart element with the water, and I see the conflict or the competition around the mind, I'm going to suggest that you follow the heart if possible. So really go deep, go within, find out what that is. I don't see any investigation cards here. It's not like you have to overdo something or rethink or really talk to anybody. I don't even see you needing advice about what it is that you want to choose here. But I might suggest that what that ends up being is whatever makes you, in your heart, the happiest. Even if it's just for now. Please remember, you're on a big path. This is a big journey. I mean, you've gone all through the Pentacles. You're at the Court card stage. I mean, these are people, or these are entities here. So trust that you're going in the right direction first and foremost, because so that was the present. The future is your ships are coming in. Something is really going to turn in your favor here. Exactly what you had envisioned is going to replicate, or it's going to materialize. This is why it's really important, because the situation is saying you have a lot of emotional options here. Which one are you going to pick? Maybe play with it in the sense of, if it feels overwhelming, for example, that decision making, or choosing 1 out of 7, I'm just using that as the number on the card. However many options you have, choosing one for now. It's not like you have to choose this and then you'll never be able to have another option, or you'll never be able to change your mind. Like, maybe just say, for now, for the time being, I'm going to go this way because it suits me being the person I am at this stage in my life, and it makes me happy and emotionally fulfilled. And I see it readily available for me, and it's what I've been working toward anyway. So I'm going to go in that direction. So maybe use those as sort of weights behind that decision. And then, of course, the advice card is the 2 of Swords here. This is ultimately making a decision. You're going to want to unravel something. The original artwork out of the Rider-Waite Tarot, for example, has her blindfolded. No, she's not blindfolded in this one. But that's important symbology. And basically all that means is that your blinders have to come off. You have to face something, either about the emotions, what you really want, what's tying you up at knots when you think about it, what's giving you anxiety about it. Really take a look at something here. Something deserves your I wouldn't say unemotional necessarily, but almost like an unfettered look. Like, you're not going to look at competition. You're not going to look at the past or even how far you've come. You're just going to look at the situation as objectively as possible, and then make a decision based on how it makes you feel. What's the highest vibration around how it makes you feel? And I do think that that'll help. Again, try not to get too caught up in what will this mean a year or 2 from now. I don't see any real risk taking here. And this is something that's going on in your mind as well. It's a thought process. It's a belief, just like the 8 of Swords up nearly above it, right? It's a choice. It's just, I feel like you've come so far on a specific journey and you expected a very specific something and it hasn't been awarded to you, and you think it's your fault, or you think you did something wrong, or it's almost like you're trying to create some sort of story behind something not going exactly as you wanted. But I think it's less that than where your focus is. If you're focused on, let's say, for example, you had 7 dreams and 3 of them came true, okay? 3 of them have been manifest or are about to be manifest. It's almost like the focus in August, unfortunately, is on the 4 things that didn't manifest, or the 4 things that didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted, or aren't in your realm of possibilities, and that type of thing. So I'm going to ask that you focus on what is working, what is positive, what fulfills your heart, what has long-term longevity, practical, useful, and healing properties, and then go in that direction, sort of one step at a time. You don't need to figure this all out at once in the month of September. Passion is the romance angel's card for you. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. How much do we love this? This is gorgeous. It's very relatable here to the strength and to the 3 of Wands in my view. Like I said, this is your ship has come in. You're like, I've been waiting for this. This is your future, by the way. I'm waiting for this. So you have to let an idea about yourself or the direction that you were going, you have to let that go. Just to ease your own mind. Even if you revisit it a month, 6 months, 10 years from now, even if you have to or want to revisit it, that's great. You can do that. You don't have to burn it and destroy it. You can just say, I'm going to focus on what's working, what's going my way. Where do I feel the best? Because something is going to be provided to you here that you were like, okay, I got this. So remember that. Remember that feeling of passion here. You could be dealing with a Leo here with the strength. It's always indicated with the lion, the woman sort of taming the lion here, but it's essentially just having its courage. It really could be called the courage card. There is, as I said, infinity energy to this as well, but don't forget the 8th house. 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. There could be scorpionic energy here as well, which is sex and death, and the phoenix, rebirth. So if it's something really heavy, or even shared finances for that matter. So sex, death, shared finances, shared assets. I'm just throwing that terminology out there in case anyone is dealing with something a little bit heavier than just some ideas or some concepts or choices. If that's the case, yeah, really feel positive, really feel joy. Allow your heart and your soul to sing with joy. Don't give up on the passion part of the direction you're going in. It's ultimately what leads us in the right direction. You know, what are you most passionate about? And you'll notice it doesn't say anything about romance necessarily. It has a pretty romantic picture, but you know, it doesn't have to be a relationship. If it is, that's great. Explore your passion, whether it's a new or developed relationship. If not, and if you're not interested in dating and that's not your cup of tea right now, you know, what is your passion? And this could just very well be your biggest clue here. What is your passion? What do you want to do the most? It has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with competition, nothing to do with other people, or even what you think of yourself. Just, you know, identify that passion and have the courage to go in that direction, because that'll serve you. This will work out for you, and things will start to manifest for you once you make that decision. Just, you know, that's, or sort of single-minded focus. Again, just for the month. Like, you don't have to torture yourself. If it's for the month, that's great. That means you can focus and you can let everything else go. And I do think it'll reduce your anxiety here. You have this gorgeous gentleness. It's one of my favorite cards out of the deck. The deer represents gentleness. Truly, Virgo, more than anything this month, I am going to ask that you are gentle with yourself. I just don't see this being external energy to you. It could very well be. For example, for some Virgos watching, for example, this could be you. You're the actor and the agent in the month, and all of this is happening around you. Maybe you have to help someone else make a decision. Maybe you have to help someone else decide that competition isn't the way, to make their own road. And that's all it's about, to have the courage to take their own road, to cut their own path. Yeah, it could be that you're the healer and you're dealing with someone who needs this type of encouragement or assistance. But if not, I think this could still be you, and this could be energy that you're working through. Here with the observer, yeah, absolutely. You know, find out what it is that you want here by looking at it with the blinders off, okay? Anytime we wear blinders, it's 10 to 1, it's for protection. We think we have to protect ourselves. We think we don't have the strength, we don't have the courage, we don't have the wherewithal, we don't have the heart, you know, we don't want to think about it, etc., etc. But observer is saying this will benefit you this month. You're going to want to take those blinders off and look at something, you know, with clear vision. Set yourself free. Also, I might have said a moment ago that there's it's a nice opportunity for you to look at something objectively. We have a couple cards jump out for you here. So we have support and then nature. Nature is always important, especially for my earth signs. Here with the messenger of earth, and then we have nature. I can't help but suggest that this has to do with the healing matter. Either you're the healer, you're going to school for healing, you're involved, you are the patient and you're being healed. So much of what goes on in healing is in the mind. It really is. I'm not saying it's mind over matter every time, but we really can. There's more to be said for what's going on in the mind and the power of the mind over the body. So maybe find yourself in nature, or find that your own personal nature, what you're already good at, what you already like, what's already in your heart is the path. In fact, no thinking necessary. You just follow your heart because you're true to yourself. There's something that just came to me that says you may not think you're enough, okay? That there's a feeling of lack somehow. And Pisces gets this a lot as well. Pisces and Virgo. You are opposite signs. Something about those two signs that really can struggle with feeling enough, like you're enough, or that you have what it takes, or that you don't have to question. You just move in the direction that you feel is good for you, and you don't worry about competition or conflict or proving anything here. So I'm going to suggest that if there's any element of not feeling good enough or worthy, or that you have what it takes, etc., I'm going to suggest that you take the road that doesn't include that narrative, because it's untrue. You are enough. You are a healer. You do deserve to be healed. You do have what it takes. Virgos are, and Pisces for that matter, are the healing signs of the zodiac. So you can heal your life. I just did Leo's reading. I want to throw out for anyone who's interested in doing healing work with regard to the mind, with regard to affirmations and so forth, check out Louise Hay. She has a Heal Your Life audiobook, which is quite significant, and it's very helpful. Just throwing that out there. And let's finish up with support. So this is actually ancestral energy here. I think that you could be tapping into ancestral spirit, ancestral paths. So another way to envision what you could be or should be doing with this emotional energy, or what direction that you could be taking here, if you pick something and focus on that, it'll not only ameliorate this anxiety, but it'll bring you closer to your purpose. I do believe that much of this, if not all of it, has to do with purpose and feeling as though you're fulfilling that and you're not undermining your gifts or misusing or neglecting your gifts. So I know that you're serious about that, but on the other hand, I want you to take heart and try to find the gentleness in this process and about yourself. And that you can do this type of work through gentleness. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It can be sweet and kind and gentle and fair and loving, and you deserve that, Virgo. You really do. So that is your reading for the month of August. If you have a second to comment below, I love hearing from you. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and for liking and sharing my videos. That means the world to me, and it helps encourage me to do this work. I would really love to do this full time. If you have personal questions or concerns, my information is in the description box. You can contact me anytime. And until we meet in the next video, take excellent care of yourselves, Virgo. Bye for now.